Hey, yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Tez, and I know it's been a minute. I have not been around, but we got updates. So now you're wondering, like the title says, I have spoilers and I have updates. Well, let me give you the updates first. As you may last recall, my last video or my last few videos, I was telling you, yes, I'm gonna be having a surgery soon, so I would try. In the worst case scenario, I was not able to try. I did keep up with my Eden's, reading, but I just couldn't do anything. I've been in the hospital for roughly, to now, it had been at least 5 weeks. So that's 5 weeks in the hospital, just sitting, recovering, recuperating, all that good stuff, reading chapters as they drop, getting as hype as the rest of the community as everything was unfolding, and still, even to this point now. Am I 100%? No. Not by a long shot. I'm getting back to normal. I'm able to sit at my desk. At first, I couldn't even sit at this desk or do anything of the sort, not even streaming. So yeah, that's where we are with that. I thank you if you've watched this video and enjoyed any of my content, honestly speaking, because I know there are plenty of places you can go to watch and read this stuff, but you choose to be here and support your boy. So you have my hat and salute to you, my guy or gal, whatever you want to call yourself. I don't assume. But with that being said, I'm glad to be back. Still gonna be taking it easy. Not gonna overpromise or overdo it, because I only have so much time. I'm in between jobs at the moment, so yes, I do have a little bit more free time. So I'll try and get out what I can if I am able to get spoilers and or content to you. So now to the point of the video while you're here. These spoilers for the current chapter 158. Yeah, things are looking a bit crazy, and I know if you read the last chapter, you do understand that the princess whom we thought was just completely gone has shown up. Laguna Princess, don't know her original name, or I can't think of the original name, so we're just gonna call her Princess. So what I do have here is actually some information from the actual translations for a few of the pages that involve his and her communications. Laguna says he thought the princess was dead, and she says in a sense he's not wrong, since now she belongs to the Empire. He asks if she betrayed Oasis and their friends, and she says he's not in a place to speak since he left overnight. Now Laguna says he was only thinking of getting stronger and went to the Sakura Cosmos in search of power, so Laguna didn't originally have his ether gear. He had to go obtain it, which I want to know how he actually obtained it. That'd be dope if we found out how. He was convinced that Nero couldn't be defeated just by ideals, and he vowed to defeat him no matter the cost. He left Oasis, but his convictions remained unchanged. Now, she recalls that Laguna's best friend was killed by the Empire, and that's why he joined Oasis. Now, Laguna says the Empire killed her father, which we do know. Her father was the leader of the actual rebellion army, which why she was the princess, because that was he was the king, and she was the mini-me, well, the mini-et. And she says, so what? Laguna asks what happened to her. She says it's the red string of destiny, which is her ether gear, we find out. Now in a flashback, she asks if he believes in the red string of destiny, and Laguna says he doesn't know. She says she does. She says somewhere in the universe she may be linked to someone by an invisible red string, a person who shares the same destiny. And she says souls are connected to each other even if the string is invisible, which kind of makes sense in regards to if you think about a lot of things with Shiki, no matter which timeline it is, and the individuals who are involved in this story, they could share some form of invisible string or some destiny bond, or everything is supposed to happen this way regardless of how it plays out, like some time loop. Who knows? Now, Laguna nonchalantly asks between her and him, for example, and she blushes. And so I believe Ibaraki's there for some reason too, but it says Ibaraki says not so fast. Maybe it's he and the princess who are connected. Laguna says he's kidding, and she calls him an idiot. Now, at present, he asks if she's connected to Nero, which kind of makes me laugh, and she screams at Shura, the man of her life. Now, the man of her life is the twisted and vile Shura. I don't know how I feel about that. He asks a brat who has killed their friends, killed her father, and perpetuated massacres across the Io cosmos. And she says no one can oppose his destiny. He says he feels like she's been brainwashed, and she says he says he'll help her wake up, but she attacks him and says it's him who needs to open his eyes. So the princess is not for the anything. She's not trying to hear any of this mess. She's not trying to go back and forth, resolve any water under the bridge conflicts or anything like that. Now, that's the information I have on Princess and Laguna. Now, there are some images that if you've looked it up or seen it, shout out to the 11th Doctor always and forever. It's this picture of Shura and the rest of the crew and the witch lying there, presumably dead on the floor. Now, how do I feel about this? I remember Mishima saying he wanted to make the story a little bit dark, and there's been instances where it seemed like it was going to go dark, but then that's when Rebecca's powers kind of became the undo button of the series. Now, would I like to see this spoiler of Witch being dead? I loved Witch. I actually enjoyed Witch, her aesthetic, her personality, the way she was. I wanted more Witch, but is it gonna be good development for the crew, for the rest of the Shining Stars, and Shiki himself if she perishes? Yes, it will be incredible to see not only Shiki's closed-minded sense of wonder, childlike wonder in his eyes, not like be completely jaded off and cast aside, but actually wisen him up to ways of the current world, because you can't be that way ideally all the time. And that would definitely help separate this from the friendship rules everything type of mentality, or friendships can bring back anybody type of vibe that everyone downs this franchise for, the series for. But it's more than that. You got to look past that. Now, I see some things playing out. Now, I'll mention them in, they're not in any particular order, but this is just what I think could happen. In the least likely event, or the one I don't want to have happen, Witch being revived somehow, meaning Rebecca leaps, but it changes the timeline, and if it changes the timeline, or it's a different timeline, who knows what will be completely different this time around, because we've already discovered that even though she leaps, she just basically trades places with someone else, and we don't know what happens to the consciousness of the other Rebecca that's been replaced. Or is it that all Rebeccas share one brain throughout the cosmos, just different experiences that get riddled through their leaps? Like, oh well, everything lined up the exact same way it was happening for you. Like, she's the one where no matter what happens in life, it's always meant to be this is gonna play out to a degree, and then boom, she'll leap, and it just changes what's gonna play out to a degree. Like, it'd be too much to just try and explain it. I might be just spitballing. Now, next, other than that, they find a way to repair Witch, but in repairing Witch, it's the same as what they said with if they were to repair Valkyrie. It wouldn't be the same Valkyrie. You basically be repairing and hitting auto restart. Like, you get the bot back or the entity back, but it would not be the exact same person, which I don't want to see that also, being honest. Now, third, she is replaced by another Shining Star. Now, we do know Homura replaced her master, and we do know Witch was helping Rebecca train, and they have called her a chrono witch. Like, she'll be a time witch of some sorts. Like, she'll learn how to master time manipulation, whether it be rewinding, fast forwarding, jumping in between, shifting, phasing in and out, however time works, because we know it is not linear at all. So that could be an option. And then the final thing, I've been saying it, like, I want to see this, Shiki falling to the dark side of his ether, like, because of something as traumatic as this. It fall along the same lines of if you've ever seen Dragon Ball Z, when Goku saw Krillin be killed and it pushed him over the edge to go Super Saiyan. The same with Android 16, when his head was finally stomped in by Cell, and it allowed Gohan to ascend to Super Saiyan 2, something along these lines. But for Shiki, it'd be so different. Like, he would hit a ether drive, like that critical mass in ether, but it would be dark and twisted. Like Zeno said, you can fall prey to the darkness. Like, it's deep it's deep and dank in gravity. So, like, that's where Ziggy is right now. But in a better comparison would be if you've ever seen Digimon, or look it up. There was a moment in Digimon where Tai was trying to forcibly have Agumon digivolve to Ultimate. Now, because he had just gotten the crest, they needed more power. Long story short, This forced scenario caused a dark evolution, which was powered and fueled by Tai's emotions with anger and rage. Now, we don't fully know how emotions work with ether, but we have been given a glimpse or a piece of knowledge retaining to this that, you know, falling prey to this, I'm assuming this dark side or your emotions in this facet will lead you down a path that is hard to come back from. But then I think that's where the friendship would counterbalance that. They find a way to bring Shiki back, because I really think he would turn into a true black hole. Like, there will be nothing but darkness. His ether will feel real eerie, and the gravity would get really heavy in that room, and he'd be ready to kill Shura. Or we'd actually see why it is that Ziggy thinks Shiki needs to die. Like, there may be something, this might trigger a glimpse into what he really is, and this will be like, whoa. Like, it's a lot of stuff. I don't know what it can or will be, but this is just me giving the rumors. This is me giving my little speculation, my little 2 cents, and my update on where I've been and how things are possibly be going forward. So if you've made it this far in the video, thank you as always. If you want to support, please follow, like the videos. Also, I do stream as well. I'm over on Facebook Gaming, so fb.gg/TesmoGizmo. If you ever want to check me out live streaming, I do a wide variety of live stream games and things like that. But as always, thank you. Be good. Be blessed. Peace.